What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, in today's video, we're going to be doing a haircut tutorial over a pretty basic haircut that I think that everybody can relate to. It's going to be a 1 on the side, 4 on the top, and we're going to go ahead and taper out the neck just to give it more of a clean cut look. But like I said, this is just one of those regular type haircuts that somebody would come into the barbershop and get on a day-to-day basis. Nothing too crazy. It's not one of those type of haircuts that's going to go viral on Instagram, but like I said, it is something that we all can relate to. So this is a YouTuber that I am cutting, so I will leave a link to his channel down in the description. I will also show you a little bit of what his channel looks like. If you are a car enthusiast, I'm pretty sure you will enjoy his channel. So go check it out. Go subscribe to his channel, show him some love, tell him that Jay Blend sent you to his channel. Without further ado, we'll get to the preview and we'll get to the hair tutorial.
Look, I just flipped the switch.
That light up there is about a quarter mile. On green, I'm going. What's going on, guys? Checking in for another video today. We are going to be taking the GTR. I have it on pump gas today, and we are going to line it up against my Hellcat, which is 100% stock.
Yep, that's money.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We back in this thing again with another haircut tutorial. As you can see, this is my client who has the YouTube channel. His name is Shadow Amaya. Go search him on YouTube. Like I said, if you are a car enthusiast, you will enjoy his content. Just by the little snippet I showed you, very entertaining stuff, you know, but to the haircut, we got a number 4 guard, and we're just knocking off all the bulk on the top. Like I said, I really don't use anything above a 2 ever, but with this instance, we will use the number 4 on the top just to knock down all of that bulk. These are my Barber's Gold magnetic guards that I had purchased a few months ago. I did do an unboxing of those. I'll leave a link up in the top for you to go check out that unboxing. But right now we have that number 1 guard, and we're just knocking this all down on the side. And what I'm gonna do is do one side of the haircut and time lapse the other side of the haircut like I usually do. But if you just follow along with the color guard on the right hand side, you'll be able to see what guard I'm using and what we're doing in the video. But right now I have that number 1 guard on there, and we're just knocking all this bulk down and just making our canvas nice and clean so we can see what we're working with. Once I get this number 1 all knocked down, I will get the 1.5 guard, and we will start to make our first panel of hair to cut. And with that, you know, we're just going to follow our steps that we usually follow. We're not going to deviate from the system, because the system will always save you time, and it will save you from getting lost in your fade. Now, like I said, this haircut is not something that's very difficult. So 1 on the top, 4, I'm sorry, 1 on the side, 4 on the top. So like I said, we have the 1.5 guard. We'll put that on there. We're gonna make our first panel of hair. So we're gonna go up about 1 inch. I am gonna spread this blend a little bit and make sure that we have a good gradiency. Since we aren't going all the way down to bald, you want to make sure that you have as much gradiency as you can. But we put that number 1 guard back on there. I open the lever slightly, and we're just going to fade up this panel of hair. Now, like I said, this is not, you know, your typical Instagram worthy, you know, quote unquote type of haircut that you would throw in your highlight reel. But this is something that I guarantee that every person who ever works in a shop will see. They will see this type of haircut. You know, 1 on the sides, box out the neck, box out the sideburns, you know, that type of edge up. But for my client here specifically, I wanted to throw a taper on his neck, because in my personal opinion, I always try to get my clients who get these type of haircuts, like 2 on the sides or 1 on the sides, 1.5 on the sides, what have you. I always try to get them to get a taper on the neck, because I feel like it just kind of makes the haircut look a lot more cleaner and gives it more of a faded look. So, but right now we have that 2 guard we just had on there, and we made another panel of hair, and we revert back to the 1.5 guard. And we're just gonna play with that lever and get up that panel of hair. Now with that 2 guard, the lever was closed. So with the 1.5, we're gonna open our lever slightly until we have that whole panel of hair faded out. And as you can see here, you're just gonna follow the same steps you normally would with a bald fade or a bald taper or what have you. Just wanna make sure that you have a system in place. That way you can speed through these, well, not speed, but you can get through these haircuts in a punctual amount of time and make sure that you stay on schedule. Now you can see here, I'm detailing, I'm playing with that lever, and I'm making sure we get out any dark spots. You want to make sure that you detail every single haircut that you get, every person that sits in your chair. You want to make sure that you're putting out the utmost best possible piece of quality work you can. Now this right here is a little bit unorthodox clip over comb. I know a lot of people are looking at this bit of the video like, what are you doing? But basically I have the comb slightly angled, and I have that number 2 guard on there because the last guard we used was the 2 open or 2 closed. And then so this is just gonna blend our fade into the top hair that we have. Now once I use that clip over comb technique, I have the 2 guard on there, and we're just gonna lever play and just blend that area in right there on the parietal ridge that we have right there. Now this is just gonna make sure that we have that blend tied in, you know, the fade to the top hair, the bulk of the haircut. And you want to make sure that you're combing your hair, like any texture of hair, comb the hair, go against the grain with the guards, and make sure that you're getting everything evenly cut. Now, like I said, attention to detail. Now I am using my texturizing shears and my thinning shears to give the haircut some texture, make sure that we have a smooth blend, and make sure everything flows together. Now I have the hair spritz that I'm throwing on there. We're gonna go ahead and execute this edge up on the nape and around the ears, the C-cup area, and the vertical bar, and make sure everything is nice and crispy. Now that hair spritz is just gonna make sure that the hair is hardened so it's easier to cut through, helps the hair to stay in place, and make sure that you have a crispy edge up. Now I am using the Stylecraft Pro absolute hitters. I absolutely love these trimmers. These are my go-to trimmers right now. You know, for the past, I don't know, however many videos I've been making, it's been the Slimline Pro LIs, but Stylecraft Pro and Gamma Plus did their thing, and I really enjoy these clippers. I can't wait to try the Evos, but we'll get to that, you know, later on down the line. But after I use a trimmer to edge up, I always go around over my work with a shaver to make sure that that hair is completely bald, that stubble is completely gone, that the trimmer didn't pick up. It just gives the haircut a much more cleaner look, and it makes your hairlines pop, it makes your edge ups pop, you know, more than just doing the edger alone, or the trimmer alone. Now we're knocking out the C-cup, so as you can see, I made a first cut near the peak of the vertical bar, and then I made another cut at the bottom of the sideburn, and then I just connect those two together. You know, everybody has played connect the dots, you know, growing up in life, and basically that's what I do with my edge ups, is I just connect the dots. I make one point, and then I make another point, and then connect the 2 points together. Now this portion of the haircut I did time lapse because we're doing exactly what we did on the right side on the left side, and we're just maintaining symmetry. You want to make sure that your haircuts are symmetrical on both sides of the head, because clients will know if your haircut is not symmetrical or not. They can see if the vertical bar is pushed back on one side more than the other, or if it's not as low on one side as the other. So you want to make sure that you're just paying attention to detail. You know, this is an easy cut, but you want to make sure that you give this type of haircut the same attention that you would give a bald fade, a comb over, you know, what have you. Now in this portion, we're gonna knock out our neck taper, like I said, and we had the Stylecraft Pro absolute trimmers, and we made our first bald line. So we're gonna bald this all out with our trimmers, and I'm making that sad face shape. That way we can keep the edge up on the side, the lines on the side that we did, keep them dark. That way we could see that edge up pop. And so that sad face shape will make sure that we keep the sides dark. That way we could make that edge up pop. Now we have the Babyliss on there, lever open, going against the grain, making sure that we stay consistent with our fade. And so remember that the one guard is what we have all the way around the hair. So we're just fading into a one guard basically. So now I'm lever playing with that babblers, and we're just making sure that we get this panel of hair knocked out nice and blurry. Take your time, use the corner of your blade, detail it, and just slightly open the lever, fade up, slightly open the lever, fade up, slightly open the lever, fade up until you have that panel of hair completely faded out. Now, this is a foolproof method on how to get a blurry taper, and that's something that we all want to attain, is that blend. That blend is you want to see that gradiency. You want to make sure there's no dark spots. You just want everything to flow naturally, flow together, and just give the clients the best possible service you can. Now, after we knock this panel of hair out, I am gonna get the half guard. And instead of opening the lever all the way, since we're just fading up into that one guard already, I'm just gonna go ahead and take that half guard, slightly open the lever, fade up a little bit, and then slightly open the lever a little bit more, fade it up until that lever is completely open, and we fade into that one guard that we had on the side. So I didn't make another panel of hair because this half guard should fade into the one guard that we had all the way around the head. So you don't want to try to do double, triple work. So just make sure that you are, keeping in mind what you had on the side and what guard will fade into the next guard. And that's what we're knocking out right now. Now, there is a little bit of dark spots near the occipital bone and also behind the ear. So you want to make sure that you're using the corners of your blade to get into those little nooks and crannies and make sure that we can get everything detailed. So with that, I'm detailing with my shear over comb method, and we're just making sure that we get all these dark spots knocked out as best we can. And if that doesn't work with your shear over comb, you could always use this little technique that I have with the thinning shears. You just use the corner, the first 2-3 blades of the teeth, and just kind of thin out those dark spots. This essentially is just basically point cutting. You're just thinning out little dark spots here and there to make sure that you have that density is knocked out, but right here, we're gonna throw some hair splits on the front edge up. We're gonna go ahead and execute this front edge up and just make sure that we have a crispy lineup for him. Usually my client gets a bald fade, but for this haircut, he decided to get the one on the side. Pretty sure that's due to how cold it is outside, but treat every haircut like, the same. Give it the same amount of detail, give it the same amount of respect, and make sure that you're treating every haircut like a VIP, so to speak. And that'll keep clients coming back into your chair. But we have those Stylecraft Pro absolute hitters, absolutely hitting on this edge up, knocking out this edge up nice and crispy. So as you can see here with the edge up, I make a cut in the middle, and after I make the middle cut, I make a cut on the corner near the vertical bar, and then I bridge those two points together. And by doing so, you'll be able to just connect the dots and maintain some consistency and symmetry in your edge ups. So when you're doing an edge up, you want to make sure that you are, looking at, both sides of the head. Make sure that they are, equal on both sides. The vertical bars are the same length on both sides. The sideburns are, sitting at the same spot as the left side is to the right side. You want to make sure that you're looking at reference points. So on this side, you can see the bottom of my sideburn. You can see it's like towards the middle. 3/4 up the ear, so that I will use a reference point on the opposite side and make sure my sideburn is sitting 3/4 up the ear as well. So just using reference points will help you to maintain symmetry in your haircuts. You can find reference points for basically anything having to do with the haircut. But we're knocking out the C-cup area with that the Anda shaver, and I do have a surprise shaver coming in. Can't wait to do that unboxing. But just stay tuned to the channel. This is the haircut. Very simple, one on the side, four on the top, edge up, super blurry taper. I appreciate everybody for clicking on this video. I hope you got some type of information out of this video. If you did, drop a comment down below. Go check out my boy's YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Tell him Jay Blend sent you. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. We got more content coming. Just stay tuned. Also stay tuned for that 245 2K Power Mat giveaway. But until next time, God bless.